So, Max, it's Mail It In Friday.
It is.
It is. What do we officially call it? Off-Topic Friday?
Off-Topic Friday.
Now you just have me thinking of it as Mail It In Friday, where we answer your questions, your stupid questions from Twitter. We will. You send us stupid questions. We give you stupid answers on a stupid internet show. That's how that works. It's the circle of life. And so, first and foremost, we have a question from. I don't know who this was from. You want to help me out with this?
Which one?
Or no?
Which one we're going with
The first one on the list.
Well, paper or plastic is one you said someone submitted to you.
Yeah, somebody did. I want to make sure I give them. I want to make sure I give them credit. Oh yes, it's SportsBot 5K. Thank you very much, SportsBot 5K. He asks paper or plastic. I am not. I'm not sure. To me, I always think of it. Whenever I get to the front of the line and they ask me paper or plastic, I always choke because.
You're a choker?
I'm a choker. I'm a choke artist. But beyond that, for some reason you go, okay, like paper is probably better for the environment, right?
Yes.
In theory, but
unquestionably, not in theory.
Okay,
unquestionably
it's better for the environment. But at the same time, the paper bags already exist.
Right.
Like they're not making it for me. If they were making it for me, then I'd feel a lot worse.
Sure.
The other thing is that I think that plastic bags have a lot of uses.
Here's the other thing. This is the other thing. So we have the reusable bags. Obviously, we have like 6 reusable bags. But
former Brooklyn resident Max Thompson has reusable bags.
But the plastic bags are extremely useful.
My wife uses
to line trash cans.
Yes.
To pick up after your dog.
See, that's key, and that's something I don't have
but
a dog.
They have many uses around the house, so it's a balance.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think that the plastic has more. I think the plastic has a little bit more value aside from carrying your groceries in.
Yes.
Also, and this is something that's been mentioned online before. You're making one trip from the car, right? No matter how many groceries you get, it's one trip. That is a matter of like manhood, I think.
I don't even think it's a man thing. I think you're not making multiple trips from the car to the door.
It's as if your groceries are your enemy, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you are not beating me. I'm not making 2 trips. You could have bought $700 in groceries, and you're carrying those up those stairs.
I've always felt it's also like a subconscious sort of like like you don't want to admit to the world that you bought so much food that you have to take multiple trips to get it into the house.
Fatso, jeez. Getting all those chicken nuggets, goodness.
I did not buy so much food that it takes multiple trips to get it in the house.
Yeah,
I am a normal person who eats normally.
I can get on board with that theory. That you have to take one trip just to prove that you are not so out of control with your food consumption that you need more than one trip to bring in all your food. Even if you're shopping for like a family, you're like, nope, it's happening. I'm taking it all.
Yeah.
So that's our first question. Our second question, which I think is a lot more very tough, I think.
You think corn or flour tortillas is very tough?
The question is from who's it from?
Bruh.
Who's it from? Patrick Frey, P_Frey on Twitter asks, flour or corn tortillas
when you order tacos fajitas. Before we even get to the corn or flour thing, this could be a trap. Because if we're being real here, fajitas, kind of a made-up American thing.
Yeah, let's
be real about that. So now I like fajitas, but I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that that's not a trick question in one way. Now, Patrick may not have meant that, but I'm just saying. Now, on to the other question. I'll let you start.
Okay.
Since you appear to have a controversial stance.
Yeah. So, I like them both. I know that that's weird. And
it doesn't come with qualifiers. You're just like, I just like them both.
I just like them both. I think that in some instances, and honestly, it's kind of the paper or plastic thing. That honestly, it's whatever the mood strikes me. Sometimes I will tell you that from a quality perspective, corn tortillas are better. Period. They are tastier. They are better. Plain and simple. Okay.
They often fall apart easier too, though.
True.
That's.
But
a knock
sometimes you want a flour tortilla. Sometimes you're just like, you know what? I want something with a little more substance, something a little bigger.
I just want some pillowy goodness in my life.
I want a pillowy flour tortilla. Sometimes you want that. Sometimes it happens, and that's okay. Sure. I think. I think that this idea that if you love corn tortillas, you have to hate flour tortillas is misguided. I think much like politics, we have much more in common than we have dividing us. Unite behind the greatness that is tortillas.
No, look,
tortillas are great. Now, I will also say that flour tortillas are better for throwing.
Well, sure.
Texas Tech fans out there, and back me up on this, Tech fans. Flour tortillas.
Those corn ones are disintegrating as you throw them away. There's no question.
Flour better for throwing.
I will say I want a flour tortilla with my breakfast taco. It's not a breakfast taco if I'm eating it on a corn tortilla. That's just the way that's going to go
I agree with that. Yeah.
Beyond that?
Pretty much.
Boy, I don't know.
You're united.
And the other thing is, have you ever just tried to make like homemade corn tortillas?
No, I have not. Great.
So good.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to be clear about it that I like corn tortillas, and I think corn tortillas are superior to flour tortillas, but I also think flour tortillas have an important spot in our Mexican food community. I think that it's important to embrace both sides.
Right.
Okay. So, question 3.
Glenn Brockenbush. Our man.
Glenn Brockenbush.
So he has a couple questions here.
But we're only going to take one.
But we're only going to take one because we feel like we've touched on some of these.
And honestly, we could spend a whole episode on this.
We could spend a whole episode on all of the stuff he put in this. But you and I are going to, he asked all these other things. But we're going to tackle one part. Favorite high school football nicknames. Team nicknames here in the state of Texas. Mine is, I got number 1 with a bullet.
Which is?
The Itasca Wampus Cats. Wampus Cat is the greatest mascot ever. Great. It is both hilarious and a little weird enough that like it's not. Yeah, what the hell is a Wampus Cat? Now, if you call the Chamber of Commerce in Itasca, they'll be happy to tell you about the story of the Wampus Cat.
You should. By the way, you should do that.
You should totally do that.
Look up Itasca's phone number and call them. They will give you like a 5-minute
that is the greatest mascot name on the planet.
All right.
And that's in a state full of great ones that we are about to go through.
Yeah. So there's a couple that I need to that really I've always enjoyed. I think a super underrated one is Houston Sharpstown, and I've said this before. Houston Sharpstown is the Apollos, and that is greatness because you're taking something that's obviously very important to the city,
right?
Something very important to the city of Houston, and you are making it unique. Yeah. And so I think that's something that's very, very, very important. There's that. I'm also going to throw in, there's a lot of, if you go out to El Paso, they got great mascots. Trailblazers, Conquistadors. It's really, really, it's flush with good ones. I think that the Frost Polar Bears and the Winter's Blizzards are great.
Great.
I really enjoy that.
Roscoe Plowboys.
Roscoe Plowboys is fantastic.
Solid.
Hamlin's the Pied Pipers, which is amazing.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of really good ones. Let me tell you one that I would have to put in one of my favorites for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
First of all, let me see if I can find it. Oh, they don't even have it on the website we rely on. Thank you. My phone's ringing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Edinburgh Vela. Okay.
Right.
And the reason is not because their mascot is so amazing, but it's what they avoided. Okay, right. So Edinburgh Vela opened, and Edinburgh fans, hold off me if I have this wrong, but they opened the school something in like 2012. Okay. They opened like 2011, 2012, recently. And they decided to put the mascot up for a vote, through a student vote.
Right.
And they said, okay, here are the 3 you can choose from.
Right.
And one of them was extremely boring. Now, I'm talking
before you finish this thought, it should be noted that often when these things are left to a vote, the most boring thing is picked.
It usually
we're voting
happens.
for 3 team names. One is awesome, one is crazy, and one is the Eagles.
Yes.
Everyone goes with the Eagles or the Tigers or the Bobcats. I mean, it's the Lions.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I'll let you continue.
So there's that. And one of them was boring, and I think it was like the Bulldogs. Okay, let me see if I can actually pull it up. It was the bulldog, and so that was one of them. The other one was like something more unique, but still kind of boring. It was like the stallions or something like that. Those were the two, and then the third one was the Sabercats.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and they did the right thing here. Edinburgh Vela students absolutely hit this one out of the park, and they said, you know what? We're going to be the weird one. We're going to be the unique one. Yeah. We're going to do something different, something unique, something that's nowhere else in the state. We're going to be the Sabercats.
Yep.
And I love them for it. And so that always holds a special place in my heart because it represents students doing the right thing.
Yes.
Because we have too many Bulldogs. We have too many. Here we go. So this is as of 2012, okay? There are 121 Eagles. There are 90 Bulldogs, 71 Tigers, 66 Panthers, 61 Lions, 56 Mustangs, 56 Wildcats. We have too many of those. Those are generic mascots, and they're fine, but there's nothing interesting about them.
Yeah.
When you have the opportunity to do something unique, like the Wampus Cats, like the Storm, like the Tornadoes, like Galveston Ball, like the Seahawks, like Riviera Coffer, like the Red Ants, like Progresso, like the Raccoons in Frisco,
the Roughnecks in White Oak,
the Fort Worth Polytechnic Parrots, you have to take that opportunity.
Hutto Hippos.
You have to take that opportunity. That's the one thing I ask. You have to take that opportunity when it's given to you. Sometimes, I understand, a lot of these were decided 100 years ago, and that's okay. You can't be held responsible for that.
Right.
But Edinburgh Vela had an opportunity to do something dumb, and they didn't, and that was awesome. And so that always holds a special place in my heart.
And we'd be remiss if we left out the Batlin Billies, too.
Batlin Billies.
Speaking of Batlin Billies, our friend Glenn.
Fredericksburg.
Yes. Was in Fredericksburg. Didn't get to go to Salt Lick.
Oh.
He was asking us about barbecue a few weeks ago, but he did go to Fredericksburg. He says, I think I know what the hubbub's about now with Fredericksburg.
Yeah, Fredericksburg's an interesting town. My wife and I went down there. They have an awesome, oh my gosh, the Naval War Museum for World War II is amazing. It's seriously, like in Fredericksburg, you wouldn't think of it.
It's very random.
It's very random. It's because one of the admirals was born there. Was born in Fredericksburg. And they've turned the house he was born in into this big, awesome Naval War Museum, and it is seriously one of the coolest museums I've ever been to. You should, if you're going through there.